Great.
You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Yep.
Great. So everyone, thank you for joining the call. Some of you I have met, some of you have spoken on the phone, some of you we have interacted on emails and telephone. But thank you all for joining. Recently, I've been in touch with Jeff and Munwar and Neera. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining as well. The purpose of the call today is to just take you over our specialization on mobile and look at ways in which we can support you, that is CIGNEX, on your mobile initiatives. Given the closeness that exists between our two companies, both on a personal relationship perspective as well as the fact that some of our stakeholders are common from Basil and Rajiv Srivastava's point of view. I feel delighted that we are having this conversation, and then based on this conversation, for you to look at the customers that you are handling or new prospects that come in terms of how we could partner together and provide and bring to bear our mobility expertise for both our benefits. That process in some way has already started. Some of our RFPs, we have involved CIGNEX. Some of your RFPs, you are involving Endeavour. So that process already started. But this meeting is more to give you a sense of the range of work and specialization on mobile that we have. I will, and at any point, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Just interrupt and ask me. Do my best to give you a better flavor on what I'm talking about on those aspects. Just a very quick introduction from our side. My name is Avinash Misra. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Endeavour. On the call with me is Vinay Shukla. He is the president of sales as well as the co-founder of Endeavour. Vinay and I were classmates at IIT Kanpur many years ago. Also Nidhi Arora, who heads our marketing, and she's on the call as well. Nidhi, can you move to the next slide or give me control or whatever? Nidhi, it seems that your screen is, at least I can see only an agenda screen. Do you want to move to the next slide?
Changing now? It's on enterprise mobility?
No, it's on agenda for me.
It has not refreshed yet. So.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, just give me a second.
While that slide comes on, gentlemen, the whole emphasis of our company for the last 8 to 10 years has been mobile. We began as a software development shop for Palm OS devices, and along the way, we picked up most of the other operating systems and expertise from a technology perspective of different operating systems and the technologies involved therein, but also because most of the work that we did in the time frame of 2004 to 2007, 2008 was funded by R&D and innovation dollars that were controlled by CEOs and CXOs. As a result, we were able to bring mobility to bear on some new use cases, and we had a good insight into what organizations were looking to do in the future from a mobile perspective. So with that, what happened was that our evolution mirrored the needs of the enterprise from a mobile use case point of view. Nidhi, I think there is something wrong with your presentation, whatever it is. We can't see anything right now.
Okay. I am not sure. I tried to switch it off. We can do one thing, Avinash. The latest deck which you have, I had shared the same one along with the updated case series. So
Okay, everyone, hold on for two seconds, please.
yeah, apologies for that.
I will try and get this. Nidhi, can you make me the presenter? Okay, now I hope everyone can see my screen better.
Yes, Avinash, please go ahead.
Great.
Yep.
So as I was saying, that our evolution sort of mirrored the movement of mobility within the last decade. So what began as point solutions and us writing as point solution for mobile devices turned into more workflow based, content oriented, analytics focused mobile application development around 2005 to 2007 timeframe. There was also a focus of verticalization, which we will talk about again on later, in terms of the impact of mobility on different verticals. 2007 was also the year when we started specialized quality assurance for mobile devices. So today we have a strong QA QC lab. And when Munwar was at our office in Bangalore, we did demo to him some automated test cases on mobile devices as well as our mobile QC lab. We also have around 2007, we also began our strategic consulting practice. And again, we will talk about it in the subsequent slide in terms of what it is and how it helps organizations articulate their own mobility roadmap better. So these are the things that have, these are the forces that have shaped our evolution, the movement from disconnected mode devices to limited workflows to connected workflows to UX focus, the importance of the MEAP, the Mobile Enterprise Application Platform. So these are the things that we have reacted to as well as we have taken advantage of to build our business as a specialist mobility provider. If you look at the whole mobile ecosystem today, I think you will see a lot of players. You will see boutique strategy consultants, you will see digital marketing agencies, you will see meet providers, you will see mobile application developers, and the whole works, right? And any one of them, for example, digital agencies or the incumbent system integrators, all of them want to do work on mobile. We have positioned ourselves as the middle path of being able to provide a one-stop mobile solution provider from 4 different service angles. The number one service angle being strategic consulting and being able to help organizations build their mobility roadmap, which is very action-oriented and execution-focused. So it is not a high-level 10,000 feet overview of what your mobility strategy should look like, but it is an extremely granular view of the implications of both the strategy and its implications on what your mobile roadmap is. So for example, it will talk about the kind of applications that you need to build. It will talk about the next generation information architecture and the components therein that you must put into place to leverage mobility. It will talk about an ROI or a total cost of ownership perspective of mobile solutions. It will also go to the extent of creating prototypes, or as a part of that entire strategic consulting exercise, being able to show prototypes to end customers saying that this is the end result of such initiatives. So this is one possible end result of such initiatives. So I think in that sense, it is extremely execution and execution focused, the strategic, even our strategic consulting piece. And it comes from 10 years of experience of both doing things and being able to suggest to customers what should be done, but also more importantly, what should not be done in the mobile ecosystem. And there are many, many examples of this. For example, what kind of things make it to the app stores, what don't. What are the challenges of putting something from a security perspective on a mobile device, from a compliance perspective in the healthcare space, what do mobile applications need to sort of watch out for or have as a point of hygiene within the overall application ecosystem. So there are many, many aspects of this whole mobile strategy that come into play. The second pillar from an offerings perspective from Endeavour is our mobile UX piece, allowing customers to both define and articulate their mobile user interface as well as the experience. And the experience part is the harder thing to do, because sometimes you can define the experience, but what is a challenge is always to test the experience, right? So you can write test cases for the user interface or the solution or the use cases, but it's extremely challenging to write test cases for the user experience that we are trying to create. And we have a certain amount of specialization in the way we go about both doing mobile UX as well as collecting user feedback and putting it back into the application. Then there is, of course, as you would imagine, deep development expertise on mobile application development as well as mobility integration. So these are the four key pillars, again: strategy, UX, app dev, and integration. From a value add perspective on all these four, I would say 4 key service offerings, from a consulting practice or a strategic consulting around mobility, we have domain experts and thought leaders on mobile platforms, as well as, let us say, aspects of mobility that are touched by different verticals. So for example, mobility in insurance, mobility in banking, mobility in healthcare, mobility in retail, mobility in home security, and so on and so forth. Part of this comes from their own experience, and part of it comes from our experience as a company of working for customers within this vertical or a given vertical. Most of our consulting is encapsulated in a 4 to 6 week offering called the Mobile Opportunity Assessment, the MOA. And that lays down for the target organization its roadmap on any number of vectors, as I've discussed in the last few minutes, in helping them create a roadmap for their organization from a TCO perspective, from an ROI perspective, from a next generation information architecture perspective, from a use case perspective, from a UI UX perspective. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, it is the assessment of the mobile opportunity and presenting the mobile opportunity to a customer in a systematic way, based on, not on our imagination, but based on our experience. The other aspect of mobility consulting is, again, with certain of our customers who already have started on the mobile journey, but helping them create a mobile center of excellence from a people perspective, from a process perspective, from a technology perspective. So for example, a customer of ours in Germany and in India is Benz, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler. And they already have decided what applications to build and so on and so forth. So our role with them is to help them with staff org and helping provide the resources, but more importantly, being able to create a mobile center of excellence for them. And that includes the process, for example, the continuous integration, as well as business release management process from a mobile application perspective, the test lab for how to test mobile applications both in manual as well as automated testing modes, the way requirements and UX need to be articulated so it can be tested later on a mobile device. So those are some of the things that come under this whole aspect of mobility consulting. And if I were to say it in one sentence, it is the encapsulation of all of our experience, both as a vendor as well as a developer of mobile solution in itself brought to bear for end customers who are looking to leverage mobility. So that's the first, I would say, first bucket of value add. The second is our expertise from a UX perspective. So we have a dedicated team of design experts who understand mobile, and they have a set process and a refined, iterated process to be able to prototype, to be able to articulate user experience. We use third-party tools such as Envision, Proto.io, and some others to make this process more repeatable and make sure that the customers are able to give their feedback, as well as we are able to capture personas of the people who are going to use mobile solutions and make sure that these personas are adequately reflected in the product and the UX strategy of the mobile solution that we are developing. From a development perspective, all sorts of technologies, both back-end, middleware, front-end, to help implement the mobile solution. Very experienced engineering team. Again, the whole focus is on mobile. Okay, a question from Jeff that just popped up on the chat window. It says, where are your UX leads and production output resources located? Rishi and everyone, our location is Bangalore, India. Our presence is in Austin, Texas, here in the US. So our ability to be able to consult and put a front face to our customers, both from a technical architecture perspective, as well as from an articulation of UX and strategic consulting, is present in Austin, Texas. However, from an execution perspective, it is all based out of Bangalore, India. We have 10 folks based out of Austin, Texas, and we have about the remainder of our workforce, which totals up to 300 from Bangalore, India. And yes, Armin, you asked me a question as to how many in Austin, which I answered, and do they travel? Absolutely. We have technical architects, we have solution evangelists, and we have UX expert based out of our Austin office, and they do travel, and their express mandate is to be able to present a front face to customers, and then when it comes to production and execution, it is done out of our Bangalore, India center.
Yeah, thanks, Avinash. Just wanted to add here is that most of our projects are executed on a global delivery model. So, like Avinash said, I mean, at a time, actually, there are right now at 10 people from Austin office, but we do have actually people traveling to UK, to Singapore, Dubai, as well as to North America. Many more people actually on frequent basis based on the customer engagements and all that.
That is right. Thank you, Vinay, for putting that point. So yes, of course, I mean, when it comes to project execution, then that team is again separately staffed. Certain people may be on-site, certain people may be off-site. Okay, a question from Anant Kacheria. It is making me feel as though I'm some kind of a radio jockey, you know, fielding questions. But even so, MOA is a package. Is it a package or determined by the size of the client? Ananta, you are the question is quite perceptive. Yes, it is a package, and it is determined by the size of the client as well, if you know what I mean. So it is packaged to the extent that we have a table of contents to be able to show to the client before they buy. They say, this is what you can get. But its size, duration, and so on and so forth will need to be tailored again based on the input from the client in terms of what they want to do. So we have done mobile opportunity assessments from 2 weeks at a customer which was extremely clear in terms of what do they want to do, right? And they just asked us, okay, so what can we do on sales and marketing mobility? From 2 weeks to a customer who's saying, all right, print out my entire mobile opportunity assessment. But in terms of what we will do in the process that we are going to do about it and the table of contents of that process, that indeed it is quite packaged. We can make available. I think it has already been made available to you, but I'm not sure if it reached you, but in particular, Ananta. But we do have it as a table of contents. Does that answer your question?
Yes, my tone is not good, but yes, got it. Thank you.
Great, great. So that's where we are. I will move to the next slide, and please continue to keep the questions flowing. Again, we discussed about these things on this slide in terms of where we are, our vertical focus, our locations. So we do have one person in Singapore. We have Vinay in London, myself in Austin leading operations, and then the rest of the gang in Bangalore. In Austin, we have technical architects, iOS experts, as well as folks from who can fly in from India for various other engagements. Armin, you are asking what is the cost range for an MOA? I think it is built on a T&M basis plus expenses, and it has historically we have done MOAs ranging from $22,000 to close to $100,000, and again based totally on time and material. So we do give an estimate saying that all right, we will need 4 folks, 2 on-site, 2 off-site in our Austin office, and here is the per hour rate, $100+ per hour, and this is the total budget for the MOA. But a good figure to keep in mind would be in the $20,000 to $30,000 range for a MOA, just as a ballpark. From a service offerings perspective, if you drill down into the various service offerings, I think from a strategy perspective, some of the things that customers are looking to partake from us is the overall business process and its mobilization, which indeed it is mobilization and not miniaturization of a given business process. The second is compliance, security, infrastructure need, MEAP needs. So I see, I'll just interrupt myself. Just a quick question from Nilesh on have you any experience integrating with portals and CMSs? And if yes, any specific portal technologies? Vinay, you want to take that one?
Yeah, Nilesh, that is the need of the moment. I mean, lot of inquiries that we get today actually for end-to-end integration involving enterprise backends and open source CMS systems and portals and all that. So yes, we do have experience. And in terms of technologies, we have integrated mobile applications with Drupal, Magento, Joomla, and on number of projects. So I mean, if you're looking for certain specific examples, I think we might have some in this presentation today. But if not, then we can send it to you later.
Okay. So as I was talking about, Neeraj says thanks. As I was talking about the whole aspect of strategy, so assessment of the MEAP, MDM needs, the TCO, and the overall mobility roadmap. From a product management point of view, from a UI, UX, and the overall user experience point of view, prototyping point of view, ability to be able to help customers with mobile innovation. So for example, one of our customers is HP. For them, we ran a 6-month program to just come up with not production ready, but but innovation focused prototypes. And out of the 8 prototypes that we produced on different ideas on using mobile for HP.com, 2 were selected for prioritization. So there is this whole aspect of mobile innovation, design and prototyping. Many times before you build and go to production, it's more important to get a design prototype that people can feel, touch, run in their hands, and get feedback on that before you go to production. Product management also involves helping customers also understand the pricing and commercialization aspects of of their mobile initiatives. So for example, when we work with a organization like Austin American Statesman, which is a local newspaper here, not only are we building the mobile application for them, but we are also helping them articulate, because that has an implication on the architecture as well as the mobile user experience in terms of what are their monetization or brand goals or commercialization goals of the mobile application. So that's what we help them do. The aspect of mobile application development, apart from the whole development aspect of iOS, Android, and so on and so forth, but I think our deeper value add comes in being able to create a mobile center of excellence for our customers, right? And that involves UI, UX, that involves testing, that involves porting, that involves BI, and many other things. But based on our own experience of running a mobile development shop, if one of our customers want to create their own mobile IT team, then what are the skills required there? What are the processes that they will put into place? What is the way in which they will write and test their requirements, right? So those are the kind of things that come as part of the value add and service offerings from mobile application development perspective. From a technical services perspective, I would say a lot has to do with integration with the backend ERP, CMS, CRM systems, the intersection of mobile, cloud, and social, and finally, maintenance and support services on mobile solutions that we build. And these maintenance support services may not necessarily be around application development and new feature development or support services from a customer perspective, but they may even be to be able to help the customer and the solution keep pace with the change in the mobile landscape. So let's say the coming to be of a new capability on a new mobile platform, or Google introduces some new kind of APIs or deprecates certain kind of APIs, to be able to help them keep pace with those changes. The slide that you're looking at is technology spectrum, and again emphasizes an end-to-end technology expertise driven a lot by mobile, but again the whole emphasis is that we should be able to build end-to-end mobile solutions. Again, from a differentiation perspective, I would say there are 4 or 5 key differentiators from a positioning perspective. Again, UX-centric engineering approach, business value-led engineering approach, and a consultative approach. We have the pre-built reusable components from a mobile perspective to accelerate delivery, and we have package service offerings around mobile opportunity assessment, mobile center of excellence, mobile security, regulatory compliance. So all the aspects that get touched by and impact the mobile ecosystem in a given vertical that we can help our customers with.
Avinash, I would add on this slide actually. On packaged services offering, gentlemen, this is where I wanted to make sure that I highlight the differentiator here. If you see enterprises today, for example, the need of enterprise mobility strategy and all that, our value proposition to these large enterprises is that we help them doing a mobile business process review, help them articulate an enterprise mobility strategy, and help them enabling end-to-end mobility needs. So if you think of for example, a large bank such as Morgan Stanley, for example, or a CPG firm such as Kimberly-Clark, when they look to embrace mobility, they will look at right from looking at the total cost of ownership, ROI from mobility, looking at application possibilities, internal versus external application possibilities, mobile digital marketing strategies, build versus buy on MEAPs and MAMs or MDMs or MEM platforms and all that, and looking at best practices in mobility with regard to mobile center of excellence, UI center of excellence, testing, QA, and all that. So we actually bring in as a mobile systems integrators, we actually provide that value add and help them articulate the overall mobility vision and the enterprise mobility strategy. So just to give you an example and perspective, for example, a large bank based in Texas, we have been working with them actually to develop a mobile banking suite, and this involved actually us working with them, looking at the overall banking landscape and weaving their enterprise mobility strategy, looking at the data security, how that data can be provisioned offline, online, over the transport, building the security policy, the mobile mobility infrastructure to support those policies, helping them building the overall architecture, validating the overall architecture, mobility architecture and technology and all that. So this brings a much deeper engagement in all the in all the assignments that we take, in all the engagements that we do with our customers, and that is a real value add of Endeavour, for Endeavour actually to work with our customers. I mean, it is right from mobility strategy, UI center of excellence, MCOE, mobile product innovation and all that, and that is the differentiator that we carry as a company.
Thanks, Vinay.
And as we move along, I mean, you will see actually neat examples how we do that, and how we have helped these organizations actually in enabling end-to-end mobility as well.
Right. Thanks, Vinay. So, from a client perspective, there are case studies against each of these clients. We have marked them under different verticals, so that it is easy for you in that sense to, given a customer that you're trying to reach out to or that you would like to take our help in creating a pitch on, I think we have the necessary backup, both by way of capability as well as by way of credentials as a very serious player and a very focused player in the enterprise mobile space. So I will not pick up the customers here, but maybe we'll go through the case studies, some of the ones that we want to highlight today. There are customers are characterized under various heads: healthcare, digital media, security, automotive. Please do feel free to ask. And a good example of a field inventory management system. Indeed, I think there were two fronts to this whole engagement with Boston Scientific. One was on the field inventory management side. So again, the stack that was created was the mobility stack that was created was iPad in the front end, middleware of the Sybase unwired platform, the SUP, and SAP in the back end. And to be able to now bring to bear the ability for field agents to look at their available to order, track their cycle counts, be able to scan their equipment directly into the iPad to get a sense of the inventory, and the goal being to reduce the transaction time in this entire inventory process of the Boston Scientific equipment. And this equipment can be at various locations, can be at warehouses, can be at hospitals, and so on and so forth. So from those perspectives, this solution was built. I will now from a back-end integration perspective, this involved integration with the SAP inventory module, and from there into the Sybase SUP, and then onto the iPad solution. The other example of our work with Boston Scientific is on the sales and marketing side, and the whole mandate was to implement a system in which every sales guy would give up their laptop and carry only tablets. And yet at the same time, all the backend systems that exist from a content perspective, the enterprise content management systems that they have in place, and they have SharePoint, they have Autonomy's team site, and a huge lot of collateral spread across these systems, across geographies, that needs to be made available to sales guys on their iPads. And this was called the Sales Central dashboard in the backend. So the backend team would create a Sales Central dashboard, which would be published to the iPad of these sales guys. And this involved integration with the Akamai Net Storage, integration with the SAP, integration with Microsoft SharePoint, Autonomy's team site, and a host of other backend technologies to be able to implement the same process that they had for the last 10 years, just that they were publishing it via the wired internet, to be able to bring to bear all of that in a container on the iPad. Ananta, you've asked a question, do we have any solution for uploading a file from the iPad? Yes, I mean, there have been, whether you can, let me get back to you on that, because we certainly have built solutions for uploading content from the iPad, but I don't know if there is any specific nuance in uploading a file. That is, if there is a file system and then you can upload it. First of all, the problem is that there is no file system in that. There is only storage, right, on the iPad. And from that, but I'll get back to you on this question. What is the background for this question, Ananta?
Yeah, so there are a lot of sales teams here, so they use iPads for that. So to fill a grant request, for example, they want to conduct an event, they have to fill a form, so which we enable them to use through iPad. But for that, they may have to upload a brochure or some image or something. So I know that we cannot upload a document or something. At least they can upload a PDF from their iBooks or something, or an image or a brochure or something to this form. So we are thinking about a couple of solutions. How do we want to implement it? But we are not successful in getting a permanent solution over there.
So Ananta, I will put you in touch with certain of our folks who tried to solve this problem for one of our customers, which is in the home healthcare IT space. So they take care of patients once they are in the home. So their nurses go to patients' home. And in their case, these nurses fill up PDF forms on the iPad devices and upload these PDF forms. So we are in the process of doing that. Let me make a note of connecting you to the right person here at Endeavour. At least we can tell you what we are doing, so you can make use of that.
Without using PDF editor, I assume.
Yeah, without using PDF editor. I think they are using a someone called PDF forms or something. I'll put Ananta and everyone in touch.
They are using PDF. Yeah, they are using PDF Expert and PDF Tron. So.
Yep. Vinay, can you repeat that, because I spoke over you?
Okay, sorry. I said that they are using a tool API called PDF Tron and PDF Expert, and they are building actually forms that encapsulates the entire PDF fields and all that. Nurses can actually fill those forms while on the move, and they can either save this form or they can transmit it over the protocol, and it can be accessed and saved and updated later on their server and all that. So Ananta, like I said, I mean, like Avinash said, if you could let us know like a specific use case, I mean, we can take it back to our experts and let you know.
Sure, I'll share my use case after this meeting. Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Great. So this Boston Scientific is one of our large implementations of mobility across 5,000 sales guys across the world. The other example that I have, also, before I close on Boston Scientific, just want to tell you that the whole emphasis was that the marketing departments are able to control the look and feel and the fidelity of the collateral that they are publishing to the sales agents. And in that, we've also built for them a back-end tool for them to be able to exactly lay out their collateral and lay out their entire authorization and business process rules as would apply to each and every iPad which the sales guy is handling. So they can design their own user interface and user experience. They can attach it to different kinds of collateral from their backend repositories, and that is exactly the kind of experience that the end user experience on the client device or the iPad that the sales guy will have access to. Again, for Johnson & Johnson, we developed SharePoint mobilization services on using a mobile website. This work was done quite some time ago, so may not be relevant that much relevant now. But nonetheless, I mean, from a mobile web point of view, there is a lot of expertise that we have. We've also been working again a lot for Mercedes-Benz and helping them create a whole series of applications. The first of which is already launched, called Movable, which is a mobile transit platform, which allows people to choose the kind of transport that they want in Germany. And based on that transport, get the most energy efficient option for traveling. So this has integration with a lot of backend systems, including public transport systems, carpooling systems, car-to-go systems. So all these are well integrated into the app to give the customer a full range of options from their travel needs perspective, and being able to order those set of options based on their travel. So they can order a taxi or a carpooling and look at where the cars are available and those kinds of things. So this is one application. But our larger work for Mercedes-Benz is to create a mobile center of excellence, out of which they have, can come many different applications. But helping them with all kinds of mobile needs is what we are doing right now. And right now we are working on their e-bike project, which is a battery-driven bike that Mercedes has launched, which actually fits into their car as well. That requires an interface from a iPhone, iPad perspective, so you can monitor it and so on and so forth. The other work that we are doing for them is on bringing heads-up display and telematics information from the car itself onto the devices of the driver or the end user. Again, from a Frost Bank perspective, we have created a whole mobile banking infrastructure. Vinay, you want to quickly, I know you already spoke about it, but can you summarize once again quickly?
Sure. So with Frost, actually, we've been working with them for close to 2 years now. We have done a series of applications. One of the application example that you see on the screen now, this is a retail banking, it's a mobile banking suite, wherein we have transformed, we have tried to transform actually the banking experience by the user. So the application actually has some of the advanced capabilities such as auto check the capture, auto check recognition, for example, auto check pay, ACH functionalities and all that, wherein as a user actually I can take a photograph of my check, and the check is automatically validated and credited into my account. If I want to, for example, make a utility bill payment for electricity bill or a water bill, I can take a photograph of it. The pay will get automatically added, and the the banking gateway will be able to set up auto recurring payments and all that. So it's a very much advanced application developed and designed by us for Frost in conjunction with Frost guys. And this application actually involves a lot of back-end integration. Obviously, security was a major consideration here because given this is a banking application and we transact millions of dollars every day. So the security and all that, the overall information architecture was designed by us with Frost. And the iPhone and iPad application, iPhone application is already live. It is available on App Store. iPad and Android is under development right now. Rated as the #1 app into the finance category actually on Apple App Store. It's a very popular app used by people, by users in Texas. And yeah, I mean, we've been working with them for over 2 years now, and then we are continuing working with them.
So this whole aspect of, I remember I spoke about our different kind of work that we did for HP, and actually we set up our mobile innovation center for HP, and their only mandate to us to begin with was to come up with concepts on what would help keeping HP.com or HP Direct relevant for the future. And over a course of 6 months, we did about 8 prototypes. And then based on those prototypes, they were presented, and then they were vetted, and based on that, 2 were taken for productization. One was the whole new way in which HP.com is presented on the storefront is presented on the mobile device with a lot of cool features and easy to use and a lot of navigability built into the application. And the other is something that we are still working on, is the use of visual recognition in being able to identify objects from the mobile device. So for example, if I were to point my mobile device camera to a printer, then using visual recognition with a certain degree of confidence, can I say what kind of printer it is, and based on that, can I say what kind of printer cartridge it needs. And this is different from scanning the barcode or putting in the printer number and those kinds of things. So, and then being able to extend this technology to the storefront, where if, let us say, someone is walking in the aisles of Best Buy and they see a laptop that they like, can they take a picture of the laptop, and for backend systems to recognize what kind of laptop it is and be able to give a competing offering from HP. So those are some of the implications of visual recognition that we are trying to help HP with.
Just a quick question. I don't know how many examples.
Go ahead, Jeff.
It was Armin.
Hey, Armin. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. Just wanted to ask, I don't know how many examples you have teed up here, but 2 questions. First is, it sounded like there wasn't a lot of existing code or prior work that you were leveraging in the development of these applications or these products. How often has it been the case that customers have either looked to you to be able to develop something more quickly, sort of that go-to market strategy with some functionality that can be rapidly deployed? And then second, how often is it the case that customers are looking for you to develop something custom that they want for you to keep, that they want to keep as proprietary and not to leverage, in future cases?
Sure. So I think you're spot on that in the intent behind the question. And I think given that we are a services company, it is very often, and especially with customers like Frost Bank, customers like American General Life, and so on and so forth, they clearly want it to be, they want to have all rights on source code and so on and so forth. So that clearly being the case, in that cases, we cannot leverage some of the components that we have. But we have about 36 different components, starting from image capture to signature capture and so on and so forth, where we have been upfront with customers and told them that this is what we will use to accelerate your solution. In fact, we are just starting off a project that was kicked off. In fact, we are doing a kickoff today in San Antonio, where the whole mandate is to reuse components that we can bring to bear for our customers. And these include components for upload, components for security, components for signature capture onto the mobile device. But again, you are absolutely correct that it is not very often that customers want that, particularly large customers, because they want to own all the source code themselves.
In fact, to that point, that's a very good question. Actually, we have, I mean, like Avinash said, we have got 36 components actually wrapped up in a framework. Other than that, also, I mean, on security, for example, we have built frameworks like Ensure. If you see our website, you will see we have built an enterprise security framework that gives you sort of the security procedures and frameworks and policies and everything that is required for enterprise mobile deployment. And other than that, I mean, we just also launched a services called Services as a Package, a SAP package actually. That is precisely that rapid application development for to build something relevant and and quickly. So we have launched a package with the rapid application development process called SAP, and that precisely actually does this thing and accelerates the product roadmap for at least for small to medium enterprises.
So there are, Aman, does that answer your question?
Yes, I appreciate that. I think what I'd be looking for from a marketing perspective is just to understand where maybe some of these core competencies lie if we don't have, and what would even be better than that if we could, understand it is sort of a menu of those IPs that are leverageable, that we could use to entice the customer to go with us versus someone else.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it. Nidhi, can you take note of this? So we've had a couple of requests. One is from Ananta, the other is from Aman, and what else did we say we will get back on? So those are the two things. I think that's a good request from Aman saying that, well, what are these components and what's that reusable IP that we can bring to bear if necessary, and therefore a greater value add or a differentiator.
Right, sure, Avinash.
So these are the. So I know we are almost on the hour. So anyway, I did not expect to be able to cover all things, but I hope I've been able to give everyone a sense of our expertise and so on and so forth. I can follow it up depending upon your time and availability with other examples of our work, and there are quite a few. But I think it'll help if you can tell me what vertical you are looking to service and what kind of examples will help you. I think I'm sure to pull out something and tell you that this is the approach for your customer that you are talking to from a mobile perspective, and this is how we can make an impact on them. And this is exactly what my discussion with Munwar was and Nirav was when they visited Bangalore, and I met them at our Bangalore office, is that many times it's a question of educating the customer on mobile. But the customer will only be educated if you begin from the perspective with that you are coming from a specialization, a mobile specialization point of view, that you have the capability and the credentials, you have 10 years experience in this, and therefore listen to me. And then sometimes they're, more often than that, not, they are willing to listen, and that's when the whole thing, that's when the whole opportunity opens up. And I am your single point of contact for all of you. If any such question comes up, if there is anything that from a US perspective that you need my help on, and as I've discussed with Munwar and Nirav as well, and Paul as well, is that call me or buzz me, and I'll help you out in positioning that. If necessary, if it's a really important thing, then I'll sort of try and help you present. Now there's a quick question from Ananta before we close, and he says that are there any services pertaining to QA only? And CIGNEX does the portals for iPads and mobiles. but the QA part, the customers are tricky to test on multiple devices. You're absolutely right, Ananta, and I did mention that yes, there are services built around QA only, and that is the Endeavour Quality Assurance Lab, Equal, and they have their own testing platform, their whole testing methodology. There is a separate presentation or capabilities or a set of capabilities that we can bullet out to you, and Nidhi, you can make it a point to bullet out these capabilities from a in a separate slide in terms of just one slide which talks about what does the Endeavour Quality Assurance Lab do, and those are the services that the QA only services that are there, Ananta. So we do have that, and we will put in a slide as part of our deck to be able to show you that.
Yeah, thanks, Avinash.
Great. Thanks, everyone. I know we are on the hour, and I know all of us will have calls after this. So thank you for joining. And if there is one thing that I want you to take away from this presentation is our specialization on mobile. And my email and contact details, please reach out to me. I will help you. Thanks. Jeff, you're asking if you will send the deck out to us. I most certainly will. Nidhi, please send out the deck along with all the additions that we spoke about.
Sure.
Jeff, thank you so much. Everyone, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Mulwa, thanks. Bye. Bye.